Now available in paperback and Kindle, All About Marilyn. Learn all about the struggles of a faded former teen sitcom star in this absolutely fabulous 5-star screenplay. Get All About Marilyn in paperback and Kindle on Amazon.com today. A Minneapolis jury convicted former Minneapolis police officer Kim Potter for shooting black motorist Daunte Wright. Now, back in 2020, your Kim Potter was at the center of an incident where she took out her service weapon to shoot your Daunte Wright after a traffic stop over some trees that were hanging on his mirror. Now, your Kim Potter, as she was trying to arrest Daunte Wright, and he was allegedly trying to flee the scene, took out her service weapon instead of her taser, and as a result, Daunte Wright wound up losing his life. Now, your Kim Potter tried to say that she didn't know the difference between her taser and her service weapon, but it looks like the jury did not buy that argument. And I didn't buy that argument back when I saw the original video, because I know that law enforcement officers are trained to know the position of their weapons. Whether it be their taser or their service weapon, they know the position of these weapons, and they are given extensive training on how to use both the taser and a service weapon. And both weapons have a different feel in the hand, so an officer knows the difference between a taser and a firearm. And it looks like to me that, as related to the case of Daunte Wright, your Kim Potter might have gotten caught up in her feelings about your Daunte Wright, looking to defy her by trying to make an escape, and because she got caught up in her feelings and her anger, she took out the service weapon and then fired shots at Daunte Wright to kill him. That's what it looked like to me as related to the video, because a seasoned officer with decades of experience, again, would know the difference between a service weapon in her hands, because it has a different weight, and a taser, which is much lighter and has a different set of feels in the hand. Moreover, a service weapon has a different set of controls than a taser. That's why I say that there had to be some intention as related to pulling that weapon, and I believe that she felt angry about that Daunte defying her and looking to look like escape as she saw it. So that's why I believe she took out the weapon with intention to go out here and to harm to Daunte Wright. Now, she says it was an accident, but I do never believe it was an accident, and I believe the jury did not buy that argument. Nor do I believe that the jury went out here and bought your Kim Potter's extra salty tears as she tried to go on the witness stand to try to defend what was indefensible. Now, your Kim Potter looks like she tried to take a page from your Kyle Rittenhouse and tried to go out here and put on the extra salty tears in a desperate attempt to try to persuade the jury that she was not accountable for the shooting of Daunte Wright. But she was accountable for the shooting of Daunte Wright, and she has been held accountable by a jury of her peers. And this is a good thing, because we have to hold law enforcement to the standards of law that they are enforcing, and no one should be above the law, especially a member of law enforcement who I believe was out here to abuse her position, and they wanted to try to use, I made a mistake, as a way to justify it. But I don't believe there was any mistake, because again, any seasoned officer who has over 20 years of experience, they're going to know the difference between a firearm and a taser in their hand, and they're going to know where which weapon is on their body, because that's all part of your basic academy training. So this woman wanted to try to make it look like, oh, it was an accident. But if this is part of basic academy training, then you wouldn't have made it out of the academy if you didn't know the position of your weapon. So that's where her argument fell completely apart, and that's why she wound up getting convicted by a jury. Now, this conviction of your Kim Potter on manslaughter is what I'm seeing to be hopefully the start of us seeing these rogue police officers being punished, and these race soldiers and these suburban commandos, because we saw your Derek Chauvin convicted and sent to prison. We saw the murderers of Ahmaud Arbery convicted and sent to prison, and now we're seeing Kim Potter being convicted and sent to prison. And the message is being sent to these white supremacists, these race soldiers, and these beta male suburban commandos, that if you go out here and attack black people, there are going to be consequences within the judicial system for your egregious behaviors, and you will be held to the same standard of law that all others have to follow. So this is what many black people want to see: a tangible series of punishments for rogue police officers, of punishments for race soldiers, punishments for these beta male suburban commandos. These kinds of people need to be held to the standard of law under our United States Constitution and be told that they have to follow the same standards of law as related to justice. This is the tangible justice that people want, because when I look at the death of Daunte Wright, it was an egregious thing, because this boy was stopped for basically having some trees on his car, something that my father had on his car for many years as he would drive me to the barbershop. And in Minneapolis, they're saying that this was illegal and a reason to stop him. But when I look at that reason, it's basically racial profiling, because I bet if it was a white guy who was driving with trees on his car, your Kim Potter would have probably passed him by and not even thought once about it. And she definitely probably would have found her taser for that white guy, because again, I believe that this woman was so in her feelings about being defied by a young black man that she wanted to send a message to that young black man and other black people that if you defy white authority, you will be punished in the worst way. And her goal with that, when she switched and got that weapon, that was about sending a message to the black community, and she thought she'd be able to get away with it by saying it was an accident. However, once we got this case in a court of law with video evidence that was irrefutable, what happened was this woman could not hide behind that false justification she was trying to push of saying she made a mistake, because we had the video, one, and two, we knew that from her years of training that wasn't the case. So this case, again, this verdict was the right one to make, and it's another step towards sending a message to all of these white supremacists, these race soldiers, and these beta male suburban commandos that you will not go out here and take black lives, and if you do, you will be punished to the fullest extent of the law, and you will not get away with taking a black life and then thinking that you can go out here and sweep it under the rug with a false justification by saying, oh, I made a mistake, and then trying to cry extra salt and tears that we know are complete bullshit. because a lot of these females, what they like to do after they do their dirt is go out here and put on all the extra salty tears and then try to make it look like they are so innocent when actually they were acting with malice aforethought. And I believe she was acting with malice aforethought because she saw a young black boy defying her white female authority, and when she saw the young black boy defying her authority, she wanted to not only put him in his place, and because she thought, oh, he had a warrant for an arrest, she would put him in the grave. So that's what I believe Kim Potter wanted to do with Daunte Wright, but thank God we were able to get justice for Daunte Wright with this conviction. Now I'm hoping that the judge will give out a proper sentence and send a message to all of these other suburban commandos, these race soldiers, rogue police officers, and white supremacists, that they have to get behind the line and that they have to follow the laws of this land, and that they cannot go out here and use a badge as a way to terrorize young black men. Now, if you want to see me make more videos like this, you can donate to my Patreon, my PayPal, or my Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. And if you want to pick up some of my books on the SJS Direct imprint, you can find those books on Amazon.com and paperback and Kindle format. You can also find them on Smashwords, the iBooks store, and Google Play. That's all I have to say for this video. You comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available in paperback and e-readers, Spinsterella. Discover the dark side of love in this goth and lovely romance with Spinsterella. Get Spinsterella in paperback and e-readers at your favorite online bookseller today.